Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to First Thoughts. I'm Simon, this is Justin, and today we're giving our first thoughts on Psycho Killer. I'm not going to do any more or we'll get copyright stricken probably. It's a new slasher film from the same writer as Seven, starring Georgina Campbell from Barbarian, James Preston Rogers, who just seems to always play big dudes, and Malcolm McDowell has a small role, emphasis on the end, Malcolm McDowell. So if you don't know what this movie's about, it's about a psycho killer who is a satanic psycho killer, not just psycho, satanic killer, inspired by satanic stuff. I don't know, man. This movie sucked. Sometimes people just have one good idea, Justin.
I didn't want to say that, and it felt wrong for me to say, but it kind of feels true.
He wrote the screenplay for The Killer, which sucked.
I really fucking love Seven.
Oh yeah, Seven's one of the best movies ever made. He wrote 8mm, which is a Joel Schumacher movie that is quite split between audience and critics. Critics hated it. He adapted Sleepy Hollow along with a couple other people. So he's done some stuff that have had success, but obviously Seven was just the most, by far, the most popular, the most successful thing he's done.
And totally understandable from the two things I've seen.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, so this movie sucked.
Yeah, it's getting at most a 5. I'm still on the fence a bit, but at most a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is probably accurate because I just probably won't think about it. The camera work was good. Everything else sucked.
I think I'll think about that ending. That's about it.
Why? Like in a negative way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say. See, this movie started out, and literally the first thing out of my mouth, if I'm remembering correctly, was to compare it to Cuckoo. Or not Cuckoo. Longlegs.
Yeah.
Which is accurate because a similar thing of it just looks phenomenal, and then the plot is silly, and the acting is distracting. Yeah. I really don't have a whole lot of words for it. I thought it was going to be good because of how good it looked at the beginning. The first scene is a really good scene.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, cool. Good, grounded horror movie. Awesome. Nothing supernatural. Obviously, he's a Satanist, but it's not like he's got satanic powers.
Right.
He's just a psycho killer.
Yeah. Those other
And, so I was excited because it's like, hell yeah. And then I can't wait, I can't wait for him to do some of his crazy psycho killer shit. Because the first kill, spoiler, is just shooting a guy. But I'm like, I know he's going to do crazy shit.
Right.
7 level shit was what I was thinking.
Of course. I can still remember. I know I just saw it within the last year, but I can still vividly remember all the deaths from Seven.
Great movie, honestly. That's a movie that it's not horror, but it's almost horror because of how graphic some of those deaths are.
Yeah, and that's when I saw this. I read the synopsis for this movie ahead of time, and I did see the tagline written by the writer of Seven. So that got me interested.
Sure.
That also made me very convinced that the horror was probably just thriller.
Yeah, and this is... It's, once again, similar to 7. It's towing that line. This is closer to horror. This is actually horror versus 7, which is thriller. But it's not, obviously, remotely close in quality to 7. It's not comparable at all.
And it's not, I guess, horror because of the elements that are in it. Cause it's not scary.
Yeah, no. It follows slasher tropes.
It doesn't even really build tension, honestly.
No. It follows the bad guy too much. Because the best thing anybody can do in a horror movie is not show you the bad guy when he's not killing people.
Yeah.
And it's funny because people are always trying to subvert expectations or try to get away from that. But it's like, you don't need to see Jaws when he's not biting people in half. Yeah. You don't need to see Jason when he's not either killing somebody or staring menacingly at somebody that he's about to kill that you don't get to see. It's like you don't show the killer when he's not killing because mystery, intrigue, and suspense is what makes the villain scary. That's why they wear fucking masks. This guy takes off his mask a million times. This guy is constantly on camera. We get to see him go to sleep. We get to see him in a phone booth using a fucking credit card. It was laughable how much they humanized this guy, because guess what? That takes away the mystique. That takes away him being scary. When you get to see him go, okay, it's a visa. You ready? I want to put out a newspaper ad, okay? I'm going to pay over the phone. Is that cool? All right. It's just not, it doesn't work anymore. There's no mysticism anymore.
It's kind of crazy because there was a scene of his that immediately made me think of another movie. And as you're talking about it now, I'm just thinking about the differences between the two. You're talking about the scene where he's paying for something and he's reading out the card information. It's kind of silly. But then his whole kind of gimmick is a little silly. Like,
yeah,
all right, he's got the muscle cars and he's got the long black hair and trench coat.
Yeah.
But he's also got this kind of weird mask that isn't really scary to us.
He looks like Hard Eyes, but with round eyes.
Yeah. And because we didn't really see it much. I think we saw the aftermath of like him being in like a convenience store. All I can think of is No Country.
Yeah.
And it's like he is not, what is that guy, Anton?
No, and it's funny because I thought of that movie too.
Yeah. And it's a villain that's in the movie a lot, and the tension doesn't die. You stay interested in him. And he doesn't have all that silly shit that goes on.
Right, exactly. And that's what I was going to say is the reason I thought of him was because as he puts on his mask about to kill somebody, because he only puts on the mask when he's about to kill somebody.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, because at this point, I'm not here for the movie anymore. It's we've jumped the shark already, and I'm just, critic brain is going. And I'm like, why do we put masks on villains in slashers? I was thinking that because I was like, serial killers, like Ted Bundy, Manson, all these people, they didn't wear masks. They just showed their face. They didn't care. And so I was like, why is that a thing? And I was like, because it's about removing that human element. And then I was like thinking, oh yeah, I guess everybody does that. And then went, not in No Country for Old Men. And I stopped and thought about it. I was like, because that movie wasn't about a gimmick. That movie wasn't about mystique. That movie wasn't about any sort of mysticism or anything with the guy, because you just saw him and he was terrifying because he was realistic.
Yeah.
That's why it worked. I mean, you could also point to Hannibal Lecter. He doesn't, he wears a mask sometimes, but he's not actually wearing a mask to be scary.
Yeah.
He's just there. And so it's like there's so much extra effort and care that has to go into a character to make them scary if they're not just hiding behind a mask. So if you want to put in that extra time and effort, then sure, go for it. But it's so much harder. You have to make them real characters. And they don't make this guy a real character. He's just a silly guy doing silly things that we've seen a million times before. But then we follow him around and go, oh, he's in the phone booth. Now he's in his closet, falling asleep, cuddling a shotgun. I don't fear this guy anymore. Yeah. I thought, I was like, am I supposed to feel sorry for him? On that shot, they show him curl up in the fetal position, snuggling a shotgun. That's how he sleeps in the closet. And my thought watching that was, am I supposed to feel sorry for him? That's what I'm thinking about, not, oh, this guy's so scary. I'm going, is this a trauma thing? I shouldn't be thinking that about the killer if you want him to be scary. That should not be where my mind goes. But they completely failed in making him scary.
It definitely did feel like half a trauma thing and half like a actually smart hiding spot if you know you're on the run.
Yeah. But that's
just the perfect fetal position, not just in the corner upright with it, just
sure, and that's fine if you're trying to make a movie about his psychology, but they don't get into the psychology.
No,
it's just supposed to be a horror movie, but they don't make it scary.
He's just a satanic force,
a psycho killer.
Yeah.
Except for he didn't seem that psycho, but I don't know. He's just a Satanist, which I guess is psychotic, but okay. I don't know. It didn't work. It didn't fucking work.
You see, he's not the just, living in depravity Satanist. He's the real deal.
You know what else it reminded me of? What was that horror movie that it was from the perspective of the slasher? Which one? I talked about subverting that trope expectation where it's you don't see the guy. This movie you only see the guy for the most part. until like there's like one scene in the middle and one scene at the end. In A Violent Nature, which I think is getting a sequel, by the way, which that
In a most violent nation.
yeah, in an even violenter.
You're right. We gotta save most violent for the third one.
Yeah. And then you put the E, or you replace the E with a 3 in violent.
Yes.
Yeah, where I was just like, that one, it was a fun experiment that failed. And I was thinking about that. And that shouldn't be what I'm thinking when watching a movie is, oh, this reminds me of that fun experiment that failed. When we're following around this killer, I don't want to see the killer. I want to see the people trying to figure shit out. The problem is, the people trying to figure shit out also had no charisma, also had no personality. So I don't care about anybody in this movie, except for the first guy that died. He was my favorite character. And he died.
Yeah, he did have the most charm in the whole movie. But yeah, it's wild. All of the other cops are pretty useless characters.
Yeah.
Barely there, not needed at all.
No.
Just there to fuck up.
Just there to be like, you're crazy. You're stupid. What are you doing? We told you to go home. Dumb bitch.
there was barely even the general. Listen, I know you want to help, but you're too close to the situation, all right?
Yeah. You want 5 cents worth of advice? Go home. Well, who even says that's not a phrase? It's like penny for your thoughts, not a nickel for your thoughts.
Well, we don't use pennies anymore, you know. There's a whole shortage
Oh,
out there. So
sorry.
we had to update the sayings.
Well, when was this movie? Is this movie modern? There was payphones and there was tape players in cars. When was this?
Well, you know, retro technology is making a comeback.
Okay, I guess.
We're reinstalling the payphones.
Put them back. We need psycho killers to make phone calls.
Listen, we gotta get taxable money any way we can, okay?
Yeah. Oh, man. This movie was... You know when it really jumped the shark? We're getting into spoilers right now because we're just going to keep talking shit about it. If you don't want it spoiled, go ahead and go watch it first and come back. But this movie sucks. We're letting you know. I'll just go ahead and give it a 4 because I'm probably going to remember it for being dumb. I'll barely remember it, but I'll remember it for being dumb, so 4.
I'm gonna go 4.5.
Yeah, it's barely memorable.
For the ending. It's literally just the ending. The ending was so stupid, I'm gonna remember that.
There was more than just the ending that was so stupid.
No, but
I'm about to tell you
that is special.
the exact moment this movie jumped the shark, and I went, oh, it's bad. Because I couldn't tell yet. Because the first scene was good, and then it was kind of nothing happening. And then he kills the guy with the hammer, and so his girlfriend goes running into the street to get the attention of the semi-truck driver.
Yeah,
and he goes, oh, there's somebody in the road. Slams on the brakes, cuts to a wide shot of the semi-truck flipping sideways.
Because they didn't show him turn the wheel.
He didn't turn the wheel. He just slammed on the brakes, and the truck goes, oh, I guess it's whip, and then explodes.
That was great. Once it skid the whole way to a complete stop and lets him walk away a little bit before just explosion behind him.
I lost it. And proceeded to then lose it multiple times from then on. And it's weird because you're watching a movie that, like, legitimately looks great.
Yeah.
This movie looks awesome. And then you just hear people saying the dumbest shit you've ever heard. You see people doing the dumbest shit you've ever seen. And then just nothing interesting is happening. And you're like, huh? Like, for a movie that's supposed to be about a psycho killer, none of the deaths are remotely fun or exciting at all. Like, he goes into the room full of Satanists. I'm like, here we go. He's got an axe and a gasoline can. Can't wait to see what happens. Bah. Bah.
But.
Bah.
But.
Bah. And bah. Okay, that's it. Oh, explode the room now.
This joke would have been slightly funnier if I could remember his name, but we got the director of 300 in for that scene.
Zack Snyder? Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was Zack Snyder. Fuck, right.
Slow-mo and all.
Yeah, I forgot that was Zack
and
Snyder.
And CGI blood.
Yeah, that was crazy. Because, like, all the other scenes, like, they weren't great.
Effects for the most part.
But, like, that one was egregiously bad
yeah.
with the slow-mo and the shots. It's literally just the guys at 300 at the pass just fighting, like, their first, like, fight scene where you get to really see the slow-mo together.
And it was like, I think they thought if we put in slow-mo, like, I feel like that was an editing choice. Like, they didn't film it to be that. I think they had him go in, bam, 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 blow up the room. And then they were sitting in the editing bay going, this is really boring. We need to do something.
It's too quick.
Throw it in slow-mo. Okay. It didn't help, dude. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Just because it's slow-mo doesn't make a bad shot look good now.
No.
It has to be cool for the slow-mo to actually work. So if it doesn't look good, full speed, slowing it down won't help. It's still dumb. It's still bad. And it's still a shitty scene.
I'm trying to remember recent good slow-mo, but, like, I feel like the regular slow-mo I just never even notice anymore.
Yeah.
All the really shit stuff recently, it's super egregious. And it's not just we have a really quick scene with like 1 second of bad slow-mo. No, we got a chain 10 of them in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what else is frustrating about that is, we didn't mention it yet, the people he's killing are all naked. You've got the opportunity for titties and slow-mo, and you didn't fucking do it. They all, immediately, you've got 3 women in the scene that die, and the first one never faces the camera.
Yep.
The second one immediately ducks and hides herself. Why? What is that helping? And the third one, you see for a second, and she's not moving at all, so you don't get any slow-mo motion, no jiggle. This is pointless. If you're gonna put the boobies there, do something with them. Like, what's the point? Legitimately, I know I sound like I'm joking, and I kind of am, but if you're gonna put boobies, titties, knockers, whatever, in a movie, in slow motion, fucking do something with them. It's just shock value nudity without any purpose, because you gain nothing from them being naked in that scene, because you did nothing.
But they're Satanists, you know. They gotta.
Do Satanists get naked a lot? I don't know.
You know, it's all about being hedonistic. And,
They weren't even Satanists,
pleasure.
though. They were fake Satanists, except for the one guy, supposedly, but he seemed fake, too.
I mean, they're Satanists for the we get to party and do drugs and
Not even, though,
screw
because
without our consequences.
you saw in that final moment that she held the cross up right ways, meaning she wasn't really a Satanist. She was just there to party. So she.
That's what I'm saying. All of them, besides maybe the top
She was
guy.
asking God for help. You are a fake Satanist if you're asking God for help.
They're only Satanists for the parties,
Yeah, the
for
acid.
the drugs and the sex and the the open hedonism.
Okay.
And then
Atheists
then,
can do that too.
10 years from now, they're gonna be wanting to go be parents or
And they'll
whatever.
be taking their kids to Sunday school.
Yeah. And that's not the Satan life isn't for you. That's your mom's thing.
I just
That's it. The Satanists, as funny at times as that was,
was it? It was
occasionally.
just boring.
Occasionally I thought it was funny, but not laugh out loud or anything. Just it's mostly the one guy.
Such a waste of Malcolm McDowell too.
But yeah, no, that's true too. But
he didn't do anything.
it also severely hurts the villain. It's having him around all this silly shit just knocks him down a few pegs.
Yeah.
Even though he stayed serious, even though he killed them in the end for being
They're
fakes.
fake Satanists.
He still let the one guy go who seemed the fakest out of all of them to me.
Yeah. I didn't get it. I didn't get any of the creative choices in this. I mean, I already said it to you, but like, why was the main character pregnant? That didn't add anything to the story at all. Just to be like, oh no. Anyway.
That guy was going to be a father.
Oh no.
They were going to be a whole nuclear family.
It would have only been sad. Haha. It only would have been sad if she wasn't pregnant. Him dying would have been a joke. But because she was pregnant, now I'm sad. Oh no.
Yeah, she could have moved on right away if she wasn't pregnant.
Yeah, man. Why was that pharmacy looking like a strip club? It was a giant RX, but the RX was in like slutty cursive, is all I can say. It just looked seedy.
It looked odd, and like the building screamed, "Hey, we're trying not to advertise that there are a lot of drugs here."
Yeah.
But then the big RX screams, "There's a lot of drugs here."
Yeah. It just looked like, hey, we don't want windows because you have to pay to see what's inside.
Yeah.
Was what I was screaming. Why is a pharmacy that way? I don't know. And why was the RX so slutty? I don't know.
See, that's why at one point I thought it might be like an interesting, like, just be like a dispensary or something.
Yeah,
like,
something.
All right, yeah, they don't tend to have, windows you can see in, and they tend to be in those janky buildings, and I've never seen that
Shady
RX.
areas,
They tend to have better signage than that, but, whatever.
And a green for the dispensary. It's not
Yeah.
usually red. Like, that's also the bright red of it all. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh? I don't know. It just a lot didn't make sense about this movie.
Also, people, please look in the back seat of your car. All right?
Yeah.
How do people keep getting caught by this?
I didn't look in the back seat when I got in.
I always look in the back seats.
I didn't. Well, you were already in here, so if you had died, then that would have been a good sign to not get in.
Well, I don't always, but I've been trained by TV and movies to look in the back seat of my car and look up when you enter a room and you wonder where people are. All right? Because they're always up.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This movie, it was so weird how, once again, it was a lot like Longlegs, where that first scene, I was like, oh, we're in for something.
Yeah.
And then Nicolas Cage starts singing, and you're like, oh, where is this going? And it just got worse and worse as it went and more boring. This is the same thing, except for maybe goofier, honestly, despite lack of Nicolas Cage. And I just didn't care for 1 second about anything that happened in this movie. Literally nothing was interesting about it.
No. Now, did you find yourself flopping between whether the villain was the original Satanist guy that they were showing from his perp walk? Because
I thought he was like inspired by him.
I thought that's what they seem to be screaming the entire time, and then you see him and he looks just like him. And I'm like, okay, is that him? And now he's
I thought he
out?
was too young to be the old guy though. Because I thought this was 10 years ago kind of thing.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to tell, and also like, how many murders did he supposedly commit back as a kid or whatever?
I don't know.
Wasn't it like double digits?
You're asking me questions like I was paying attention.
I think they were saying he did like double digit murders as like a young teenager, and
Justin,
I
stopped paying attention to any words that were being said the moment that truck flipped. I was like, oh, this isn't a pay attention movie.
That's what I was going to say earlier. But one negative and somewhat positive, because it helped us escape from the terribleness of this movie a bit. But this movie constantly reminding us of other movies. Yeah. That truck flip, that's Final Destination right there.
Yeah.
That is perfect Final Destination shit.
I couldn't help it. I try not to say jokes during it because then I never remember what I'm going to say in the review. But I couldn't help it. We've used the term before, this is a drunk review movie. This is a movie for me to make a YouTube video making fun of it. Because it's just so bad and gives you so many opportunities to just rip into it.
Yeah.
And but it's deleting itself from my brain as I talk about it because it wasn't worth remembering for more than 2 seconds. It's such a forgettable movie that I can't even remember the bad parts because I was like, haha, that was really stupid. Deleted. Gone. Forever. Who gives a shit? Oh, the numbers. All the fucking numbers, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Oh, then the numbers. The numbers in this movie are really stupid. First of all, every time there's a number, I feel like it could be a math equation to 6. Now, this might be the number 23 thing where it's just a really easy number to get to, but there was constantly like, oh, this is, apartment number 213. 2 plus 1 plus 3 is 6. Also, 2 times 1 times 3 is 6. Oh, room 105, 1 plus 0 plus 5 is 6. Every fucking room was 6. I'm like, no, it's not clever. It's just boring. And then at one point, he puts out, or not the Satanists put out a message in the newspaper that's just, on old phones with physical keyboards back in the day, you had to type, with just the 9 numbers to type words. And it'd be like, 222 is C, right? Mm-hmm. That's how he wrote out a secret code message. And the cop was staring at like, what could this? Oh, and she's like doing all these ciphers, like, oh, that one didn't work. Crumple up that page and throw it. And then she pulls out her phone and sees the letters under the numbers on her phone and goes like, oh, Eureka! Oh, let me write it out. It's like, you dumb bitch. The second I saw 3 8s in a row, I went, oh, it's one of those shits. Like, that's how it works. This isn't complicated. That was not. It wasn't the Zodiac Killer.
Listen.
This was some doofus in a mansion pretending to be a Satanist writing out numbers.
Listen, I would have given her credit for one other attempt before finding out the phone number.
No, that was the
because
first thing I saw.
whenever I see numbers in a code, my first instinct is always to just immediately convert them to the regular alphabet. It never really works out because that's just way too obvious.
Sure,
Let's just hope that was my first instinct. But yeah, after seeing a bunch of numbers in a row and reading the thing, I would have gotten it.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, there's only a couple of options here.
Yeah, you're not putting 3 A's in a row. Sorry. It's gonna be...
What could it mean?
Yeah, it's stupid. It was just... brain
Triple A.
dead movie, man. Brain dead.
So,
The ending, you want to get into the ending?
the ending, the best part of the film. No, it is definitely the only thing that's going to stick with me. So, I mean, he's been going through these killings this whole time as some sort of like... honestly, the killings don't make a hell of a lot of sense outside of he's just killing for Satan.
At first I thought it was like people partaking in bad things.
Yeah, I
like
thought it
this
was just-
typical serial killer thing is like, oh, you're drinking, oh, you're having sex, or you're doing whatever, I'm going to kill you. And I thought he was doing that at first. And then he started taking drugs, and I was like,
Yeah,
why?
that was interesting, and I still don't feel like we got a great explanation on that. I know they tried, but whatever.
Did they?
They kind of.
Did they?
Not really, but
Did they?
he was taking pills because he was taking them himself. Yeah, I actually don't remember if they said anything further than that.
The one person on the radio mentioned something about, like, boner pills. And I was like, is he taking boner pills? And so I thought maybe this was a sexual thing for him. And then it wasn't.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if they were even talking about that situation. I think they were just...
I think the people on the radio were just idiots.
Yeah,
Everything they said was dumb.
Yeah. But, yeah, so he's going around killing. It seems like he's just killing for Satan, or maybe he's doing some sort of ritual with these people that we don't know about. But it turns out his entire plan...
Open the pit.
Yeah.
Open the pit.
It turns out...
I made jokes about it being like he's a big metal fan, and then it turns out he was. I was like, oh, okay. Oops. Predicted the plot again, my bad.
And it's crazy, because, like, they set him up as, like, this follower of this like, young Satanist back in the day, or whatever. And, like...
Young Satanist. That's my rap name.
The Young Satanist. It's your boy Young Satanist here with my man, Little Beelzebub.
Welcome in, the Legion. This is unrelated, but I want to tell this story because I don't know when else I'll have an excuse to tell this story. Speaking of Legion, well, I guess that's a spoiler to the story. So, back in high school, I think it was, I used to write scripts all the time for our church's VBS and also high school skits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, at one point, I was working on the scripts for the summer VBS, and I was going over it with the camera guy that I always worked with. So I was over at his house, and we were supposed to be coming up with ideas. We were just kind of fucking around the whole time instead, though.
Fair.
It just happens. I forget even what the context was, but he just keeps asking the AI on his phone random questions, and I was like, stop asking Siri questions. And he goes, this isn't Siri, it's a Google phone. It's, actually, I don't know her name. And he goes, hey, whatever, what's your name? And he goes, we are Legion, for there are many of us. It just starts reading that passage for some reason at random.
Yeah.
When it goes, who are you? Or what is your name? It starts reading the Bible and goes, we are Legion, for there are many of us. He threw the phone across the room, legitimately bought a phone the next day.
Damn.
So anyway, fun stories.
I like thinking they just broke that in the head. listen.
If anybody asks who
This
you
is-
are,
This is your...
just say the most demonic shit possible. Got it. All right, cool, thanks.
Start reading... Start chanting, too. So you gotta speak in tongues. It's the only way.
Anyway, back to the ending of this movie.
Yes. So it appears all the murders, I guess, have just been him building up the nerve to go to 3 Mile Island.
I don't even know if it's about building up the nerve. I think he's just getting distracted on his way. He's just like driving there,
Yeah.
He's on a cross-country road trip, and every time it just seems like he's going about his business, and then he's like, oh, but murder time. It's like he never plans it. He gets pulled over by the cop, and then he sees the people on the side of the road. For some reason that triggers him.
Yeah.
The maid comes into his room, sets him off. It's never premeditated. It's just like, doop-a-doop-a-doop, oh, time to murder o'clock, time to do it. Like, even running in with the Satanists, it's just like, oh, okay, I was chilling with these guys, but I guess I gotta kill them.
Hey, he needed information. He got the information, and the guy who gave him the information was clearly a true believer because he got him information.
He knows a detective.
Yeah.
Ooh, Satan and his detectives.
But the rest of them, they were fakes, so they had to die right before he left. He was done there.
Sure.
But yeah,
and then
so
he blew up the house with a can of gasoline because that's how that works.
Which was funny. It's not even like a big explosion. It's just kind of small fireball behind him, and then I guess we presume it just burned down because it didn't blow up. It just burned down. I
don't
guess.
even know if the house burned down because didn't the cops go inside? I don't remember. Not important.
I don't
None
think
of
the
this
cops
is
made it inside because she took the shot at him, and then they got chased away some.
Yeah.
So we never really got to see the aftermath of it burning down.
Yeah, her car somehow ended up in a ditch.
Yeah, he sideswiped it.
Shot the door, and then she screams, cut to her in a ditch. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Anyway.
Yeah. So the whole plan is for him to go to 3 Mile Island and blow up 3 Mile Island, triggering a meltdown while he's in some sort of like satanic symbol on the ground. It's like an eye with a pentagram pupil.
Back-to-back East Coast movies tonight.
Yep.
Wild.
Yep. Represents
multiple references to Philadelphia today.
Represent.
Yeah.
Also been out to 3 Mile Island or near. They got the outlets out there.
I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, my mom's been out to the
There's
outlets.
usually electricity. Most places you go. At least in this country. I don't know.
Terrible.
Anyway, so yes, his plan is to set off a nuclear explosion. Well, set off a traditional explosion to chain react into a nuclear explosion in the name of Satan, and somehow maybe this is going to open the gates to hell. Doesn't explain his motive there, but that's what his whole thing is open the gates.
I think it's just big fireball and lots of sacrifices to Satan.
There's a throwaway line in there about how when the meltdown happened the first time, it was like opening a hole to the center of the earth. Yeah. Which because that's where hell is, I guess.
It's all fiery down there. Depending on which version of hell you choose to think about.
Christian hell is fiery.
Yeah.
Well, okay, traditional Christian hell. There's a lot of versions that say it's just darkness, but
it's separation from God.
We
it's
don't
cold
need
down there.
we don't need theology discussions right now.
Dante.
I'll put away my theology degree. But anyway, so that's his goal, and so he sneaks in with this guy he found via detective, which this whole subplot could have been deleted. Just select, delete those 5 pages or whatever. Just have him find the guy and go, don't need these fake Satanists. That was just a deviation to make the movie longer.
To prove how real he is.
Show titties. Which, sure, I guess. But,
not enough.
So he uses that guy to then get inside and then get to the control room. He locks everybody out except for them two. Gets the guy to, like, set it to, like, all the water out so then it's just overheating.
Yeah, he basically takes off all the safety features.
Yeah.
You seen Chernobyl, he does that.
Yeah. And so then he shoots that guy, and he is now getting ready to use a grenade to jumpstart a belt of dynamite he's created that will then blow up and make the nuclear meltdown happen.
Yep.
So a bomb makes a bomb makes a bomb. Anyway, and so they're all working on cutting through this door, and they're like, it's the only way in. They designed this room specifically so that you could even survive a nuclear meltdown in this room. It's just you in the room and that's it. And they're like, there's got to be another way in. And he goes, well, now that you mention it, there's a window.
No. He's like, there's got to be another way in.
No.
Like a vent or something? Nah.
No. Well, actually, now that you mention it, there's this door that we ignore this door over here that leads right inside.
Yeah, with a nice window.
There's for some reason an observation deck into the room, and I'm assuming it's plexiglass. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. He just fucks off.
And listen, that plexiglass, it probably is bulletproof. It very well
It's like,
might be bulletproof.
That's totally bulletproof, I think.
I think I heard
Maybe.
one time in passing that it might be bulletproof.
The janitor told me it was unbreakable once.
If you
I don't
see right
know.
here, someone graffitied bulletproof
Yeah.
next to it.
Yeah.
But listen, what I didn't hear him mention was that window torch-proof?
Good question.
Maybe they shouldn't have spent all that fucking time on the door.
Yeah. I don't know. But, like, literally the funniest thing is he goes, like, I think it's bulletproof. I don't know. Okay, bye. And then just leaves her there.
Yeah.
And so she takes out her pistol
Because he's got to run
or
from
whatever.
from the meltdown.
Speaking of shotguns and pistols, though, literally the bad guy's walking around with a pistol, shoots a couple things with a pistol, and then it's a shotgun.
Yeah.
It just switches to a shotgun when
Soon as
he
he
walks
rounds the
into the other
corner.
room. I'm like, the fuck? It was a pistol this whole time.
Not
Anyway, she then shoots a bunch of times, makes a hole big
Yeah.
enough to put her rifle through.
No, she has one rifle, right? But it's not a sniper rifle. And she
Yeah.
shoots directly in the same spot over and over again till she gets a perfect little hole for a sniper rifle
Yeah.
that she sticks through to shoot him
Yeah.
in, like, she shoots him in the leg to drop him and
For
drop the
some reason.
but then he still has the grenade in his hand and he pulls the pin,
So then she shoots
the
arm.
arm to throw the grenade behind him,
Yeah.
which
Cross the room.
magically works.
Yeah.
Doesn't get
None
too
of the
close to him.
shrapnel hits any of the
Nope, and
dynamite right here.
even though he clearly gets hit
gets
by
hit by the shrapnel.
shrapnel. So, and then she shoots him in the
Throat or
Throat,
shoulder,
head
something
area
in this area.
he gurgles like he's seemingly dead, right?
And then you hear him breathe through the mask.
Yeah, and I wasn't really joking, because like it could be that, but it kind of seemed like maybe it was like a death
death
rattle,
rattle,
like
yeah.
he's the last couple of breaths.
Nah, he was totally alive.
Oh yeah,
It was
he
stupid.
the cops are telling us he's dead. No, he's been shot so many times. There's no way he's coming back from that. They took him away to a prison in the end.
The FBI has did not like. Yeah, every time they cut to the news, it looks like it was a YouTube video, and they're just like, "Oh, you know, people think he might be alive," and I'm like, "Why would people think that?"
Yeah.
And like, we asked the police, and they said, "No, he's dead." I'm like, "So he's dead?" And then like, "Oh, no, we lied. He's in this prison now."
No,
Why the
he's-
fuck would the police lie about
He's
that?
completely fine, perfectly alive, and we're just
Cool,
not going to tell
great.
the public. But hey, you know,
Hmm?
people like horror movies. You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if he's alive, this could be a franchise, all right?
Hell no.
You
Absolutely
know?
not.
You know,
There's no chance.
I know they kept calling him the slasher, and I
Which,
haven't.
that's the thing too. On the news, they're like, "This slasher." I'm like, "What do the news refer to guys as slashers?"
Yeah, he didn't do a whole lot of slashing until you
They
were
deliberately
after
go out of their way to, like, on the news, make killers not seem cool so that they don't create additional killers. And they're like, "This slasher is a Satanist, and he's really powerful and so smart, and we love him."
Look at all the stuff he's done.
Yeah, he's great. Here's this murder. Look at this pentagram he drew. Isn't he so artistic? And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? This is a joke. But yeah, so she somehow manages to shoot him 3 times without anything blowing up.
Yeah.
Instead of just, before he pulls the pin, shoot him in the head.
Yeah, no, I thought that's what she was going for completely. But then
It makes sense.
leg shot to drop him. Oh, weird move.
Yeah. What are
The-
you dropping him for?
the-
What does dropping him accomplish?
The arm shot to knock the pulled pin grenade away.
At this point,
the
you're
dumbest
fucked.
shit.
Yeah.
The
What are
dumbest
you
shit.
planning for?
Especially since that wasn't the first shot.
No.
Like, if that was the first shot, all right, fine.
Stupid, but understandable.
Stupid, but he pulled the pin, and now if you kill him, the grenade lands right next to him. His plan works anyway. All right, fine.
Yeah.
You gotta do whatever you can. I can see that in some cheesy action film. Whatever.
Yeah.
I would have been fine in a cheesy action film, but whatever. No, you shoot him in the leg first to drop him, then
Also,
then you kill. Oh.
By the way, the dynamite is stomach level.
Yeah.
You have
The
all of the
entire
chest,
chest.
to hit too. If you don't think your aim's good, which clearly she did because she went for the forearm, Shoot him right here, man.
I know the leg's a sizable target, but it's not that crazy sizable. I know she's kind of close, but dang, she went through a little hole that I can't give you much maneuverability.
Also, the glass is all fucking fogged up from the cracks.
Yeah.
You can't see through the window really anymore.
So. Yeah,
Also, we
perfect leg
skipped
shot,
the best
even
part.
harder
We skipped
shot.
the best part of this whole situation. So right after he says it's break proof, good luck, bye, and leaves, her first reaction is to bang on the glass and scream at him. What does she think that's going to accomplish?
Well, you see, he's got a flair for the dramatics, so it gives her precious seconds of him like gloating.
What was the plan? But anyway, so then that works for some reason.
Yep.
And then we have to have the fake out dream of him still being alive. And you're like, okay, every slasher movie needs to end with a jump scare of him being back. Okay, here we go, dream sequence. It's lame and it's dumb. And then we cut to him actually being alive, going to the prison. I was like, what? Yeah. Then why did we do the fake him being alive thing if he actually is alive over here? Isn't that redundant?
Yes.
Didn't we not need to do that?
But listen, now she's got PTSD that'll carry her forward into a potential sequel, and
Nobody wants a sequel to this.
No, but maybe if it makes enough money. And then,
Even the writer doesn't want a sequel to this. Let's be honest.
Listen, I'm sure if they cut him a big enough check, he'll be back. he wrote this first one.
Yeah.
What's he got going on? And then, and then the slasher's alive for a potential sequel. But as I was saying earlier, I know they kept saying slasher, and I know I haven't seen an insane amount of horror films, but from the slashers I've seen, he doesn't strike me as a slasher.
To be a slasher, you need to slash people.
Yeah.
And he didn't use a knife once, I don't think.
No, just the axe as far as I can remember.
Okay, I guess that's slashing.
Yeah.
But he kills people with guns mostly.
Oh, no, it was 2 times with the axe, but yeah, mostly guns. Because the Satanists and the one boyfriend before the...
That was a hammer.
Was it a hammer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a hammer, right.
Yeah.
He hits him in the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just the one axe.
He's not much of a slasher.
No.
Okay, yeah. Skip this one unless you want to sneak in some beverages and make fun of it with your friends. Why do we look so dark? The lighting looks weird.
Well, melanin.
Why is the window so bright? This is weird lighting. What did I do wrong? Well, don't answer.
Are all of those street light or parking lights always on?
Yeah. It just looks different. Anyway, I don't care anymore. We're done talking about this movie. It sucked. Okay, bye.
Bye.